Now let's try to go and make this paddle move the left and right, and we can see here the y-axis is negative 160. We have this 7-axis here, and it's going to be the horizontal axis, and we have the vertical axis for the y. And if we try to go to look for set here, if I pressed here on 0, this should be putting our paddle on the middle. If we want it to go to our, let's say, direction, let's say 145, where will this go? So you would see it went to the positive 145, is going to the right side. If we put here negative, you would see it goes to the left side. So that's just something to take note of. Left side will be negative for the x-axis, and positive will be on the right side. Now the next thing that we want to do here is we're going to be using the x block, x position. Let's try to put that, or no, let's try to, we want the paddle here to follow our mouse position. So let's try to go look for our mouse position block here. There should be a mouse position here. Let's try to go and search for that. So let's go to sensing, and we do have this mouse X, so let's try to replace that there. So now let's try to go and have a forever loop, and go put that here. So that means wherever our mouse is located, that paddle will be following it, right? So that's the goal there. And of course we want to go and make sure that when we click the green flag here, that's the signal that we want to start our game. And that's the same thing here. We would want to add a green flag here. And now, once the green flag is clicked, we can now have our paddle here moving left and right. Okay? Now the next thing that we would want to do here is to make that bat don't pass through our paddle here. So we want it to bounce back once we try to touch it. So let's try to go and have a conditional statement here. So these are some statements that we can try to use for setting some conditions. So let me just go and... So now there's going to be a little bit of mathematics here, but let's first try to go and work with setting the if condition statement here. So let's say if we have our paddle, actually we want this to be inside of the paddle, and we want this if statement here. Let's just put that down here. Let's have an event, and we will say that if, actually this should be inside of the bat, because it's going to be the bat that we want to go and try to work with here. So that means, I think I made a mistake there. Okay, so I just dragged the code block here, so it's here now. Now, what do we want to do here next? We want to go to our sensing, and let's try to put this here, this touching paddle. So what do we want to happen? So we would want to go and turn this around 15 degrees and then move 10 steps. So what would happen if they hit? And it's not working because we need to have some sort of a way for us to tell our script here to run forever. Okay, let's try to run this now. Is the bat now able to... Okay, so it's working. We're now able to make sure to make this bat bounced once it hits the paddle, right? It's not that too obvious, but let's try to go and move our paddle a little bit higher. Let me just stop this for a while. Let me just go and put this up here. Then let's try to run again. You would see now we're able to make the bat bounced, right? So we're able to bounce this bat. and we can try to even. Okay, so it's working. We're able to bounce that bat up once it hits the paddle, right? Let me just, it's a little too high for my opinion, so let's let it go there. But I think we can try to go in, because half of a circle is 180 degrees. Let's see if that can be more optimized. Okay, that seems much better. Rather than 15 degrees, turning it 15 degrees, we're able to now turn this half of a circle. There's a bit of a okay, but that's still, I think that's still fine. Okay, it's bouncing up, and the bat now is bouncing on top of our paddle here. So we just set the 180 degrees here because it's half of a circle, and once it hits our paddle, it will be turning.